Hello, I'm Doug, and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And today on Black Licorice number 28, we are looking at licorice flavors in foods. Most of this video is going to be some clips I recorded and collected over the past few weeks or months when I found interesting foods that had licorice notes and flavors, intentionally or unintentionally. We'll have more on that later, but right here, not every experiment where you go looking for licorice actually works out. So I have here some red wines that reportedly have some licorice notes in their flavor profile, and I couldn't find them at all. And I tried and I tried and I tried. I had 4 or 5 pours and had different sessions with each one and failed totally. So I was going to do a little tasting on one just to see if anything pops out and what I can report about the tasting notes. I can't say I do wines, I don't review them, I don't taste them carefully really, or I don't know what I'm looking for. I am experienced in all kinds of whiskey and rums and mezcals and more tequila. But wine is still kind of a mystery and a big knot that I'm still trying to untie. But I am going to get a glass and pour out one of these. Which one? I'll just do this one. This was the X one from Greece. The rest of these other 3 are Italians. So, this is Nero d'Avola. I think is the grape, Villa Scaminasi, I guess is a house or a vineyard, Sala Parduta. Oh, it's a POD. It's a POD type of Nero d'Avola. D'Avola. I don't know. It's Italian. It's almost certainly wrong then, right? So I've got a little bit of this wine. Oh, it's very rich, complex, meaty, earthy, dark fruits. That's what I would say from sherry finished whiskeys. I'm getting a hint of licorice aroma on the nose, but it's buried. It's one of 15 different things. It's just kind of reminiscent. I'd be surprised if I taste it. I've picked that out before, but never really associated that with licorice. Very interesting. Okay, well, rather than sitting around swirling the wine all day, I'll just go ahead and start tasting it and see if I can pick out anything. Nope. There's a bitterness. It might be from oak. It might be from grape skin tannins. I think there's a lot of tannins in this. A little dry and astringent. Fruity, in a very dry sort of way, earthy. It's interesting, and I like it. I can't say I get licorice on the taste. The palate's really good. It's really nice, but it's not there. This was just one of my little tests or explorations to find licorice in different things. The inspiration for this came from this book, Wine Folly, by Madeleine Paquette. And she has a great way of organizing information on wines. Most of the book is going through different grape varieties. So when I saw that she had licorice notes, licorice, pile of sticks, I don't know if it's roots or candy. Pile of little sticks. Given as a tasting note, or sometimes anise, I went out and looked for some examples of the grapes that she said gave that tasting note. And these are like $20 and $30 bottles. I went to several wine departments and stores around the area here in New Orleans and found these. I've been tasting them carefully ever since. But as an inexperienced wine taster, she's a sommelier and she knows what she's doing. I've seen quite a few of her videos. I'll just link to a video to her channel maybe in the description. So I don't blame her at all for my failure to pick up these flavors. But I thought it was something I could bring to the channel and tell people about flavors in wine, and it did not work out. So Nero. Ins. There can't be that many. There we go. Nero Duvala. Okay, so this is one where it's got, I'm sure you can't see the picture from here, but here's a page on the grape variety. So she has a little spectrum or scale for body, sweetness, alcohol, acidity, tannin. Tannin is moderate, it says. No sweetness. Good body, good alcohol, modest acidity. But she's got licorice, black plum, black cherry, tobacco, and chili pepper. I didn't get chili pepper. Of course, I didn't decant it for 60 minutes like she said. And it's room temperature 60 to 68 F. You know, it's not that cool in here. So here we go, along with the dark fruits. And some of the complexity might pull up tobacco as a tasting note, but it's certainly not licorice, and I didn't really get chili peppers. But I love the way she organizes information about wine and grapes and how to go about getting better at tasting. You just have to dive in and do it. So this might be the subject of some series in the future, but right now this is just kind of an example to say not everything you try works out, but coming after this are a few clips where things really did work out well. So I'll come back at the end and tell you about the rest of the Licorice series and sign off. Okay, here's another little short on anise flavor in foods. This is some anise flavored biscotti from Angelo Brocato. That's a little ice cream and pastry shop in New Orleans. It's established, what, 1905 or something like that? In New Orleans by a Sicilian immigrant. So I bought some. I tasted some of them with and without coffee and tea. And it's got a pretty strong anise flavor, so we'll get into it. I've got some tea here, got some coffee here. And I'm sure you can't see this label, but it's found this at a grocery store in New Orleans. Didn't know it existed, really. I know the gelato and ice cream at this place. I didn't know you'd find this in grocery stores. So I was very interested to try it. So these biscotti are very light and fluffy. Lots of biscotti are dense and hard, and you bite into it, it's like a brick. This is light and fluffy. It's definitely got a strong anise flavor. And just as much, it's got the cooked wheat cookie flavor, creamy vanilla type notes, grain. So it's a good aroma. I like that. And it's not too hard to bite into while it's plain. A little dry, but pretty good flavor. So I'm going to go into the coffee first. So that's what they serve at that store. They have Italian coffee and lots of other pastries. Ice cream and gelato. Is that making a gelateria? So the anise flavoring is a little more confused or mixed when it's with coffee. This is black coffee. Something I roasted to a pretty dark level. No cream or anything in it. It's good. The anise survives, but it's competing with all the flavors in the coffee. But it's good and it works and holds together. And definitely licorice-y. Let me get another one of these guys. Oh wow. I end up eating 2 whole things. It's a mild black tea. And I will try this. Much lower flavor level than the coffee is for sure. Wow. Still competes. The anise is mild, the tea goes away. Yeah. Anise is winning. The biscotti is winning. The pastry is winning. Grain, the creaminess, the vanilla. I don't know if there's vanilla in it. And the anise flavoring are overwhelming the tea, so tea's not winning. And the tea's still a fine drink, but it's not a flavor when you're eating the pastry. So, another licorice flavored food. Just thought I'd tell you. Okay, so here's another quick taste of some licorice flavored food. These are some breadsticks that I got at Italy in New York City. So Colaccio, Tracini or Tricini, Al Finocchio. And Finocchio, I think, means fennel. So these are breadsticks with fennel seeds in there for flavoring that I bought in Italy and New York City. Just for this very purpose, just for this mission. And these are some sort of little breadstick, but they're twisted into a loop. And the brand is called Terrali, and the food or item, this thing is called a Rallini. White wine, extra virgin olive oil, and then fennel seed for flavoring. So a couple different kinds of breadstick experiences here, so let's dive in and see what we get. I don't know if I should take the little short fat one. These are like two breadsticks twisted together and then they're baked or dried. So, oh, that broke easily. It smells bready. It smells a little fennelly. Oh, I think there's a lot of oil in the recipe because this is an oily mouth. It's not really oily, but it's a rich, buttery type of mouthfeel. Oh, fennel. Let's read these ingredients. Okay, there's the English ones. Wheat flour, sunflower oil, oleic, wine, extra virgin olive oil, salt, fennel seeds, and then I have all the other things that are in the factory. So it's pretty straightforward bread. Breadstick type thing, no yeast, but oil and wine are in there. And the fennel gives it a good flavor. It's not especially licorice-y, it's more savory and blends in with the bread, blends in with the olive oil and the wine. Oh, wow. I bit into the fennel there and it exploded as licorice. So you have to have a taste for this. So these are nice and flavorful and they have a good pop of flavor. Now over here, that's also a breadstick type thing. And they say they say white wine and extra virgin olive oil prominently on the label. And a little fennel seed emblem or button. And what do we have here for ingredients? Flour, water canola oil, extra virgin olive oil, white wine, malted barley flour, fennel seeds, salt, yeast, spices. So I think I found something like this once in a little box with American packaging and labeling in a TJ Maxx or or a market or something, and I bought it because it had fennel flavor in it. But I think they were kind of old and stale and not real fresh, and the flavors didn't really pop out. These I bought fresh at Italy store in New York City, and I think it turns over pretty well. And things that don't sell, then they go to TJ Maxx and World Market maybe. But I will taste these. Harder, crumblier, drier than these are. Less of the oil taste. Less of the oil feel. And the fennel pops. Yeah, the bread's got a different character. Taste-wise, feel-wise, everything. There's more interesting spicing than over here. This is more buttery, mouthfeel type of experience. This is more of a seasoning and spicing kind of experience. So this is more interesting before you get to the fennel part. And then you might hit a fennel once in a while. So these are good little things. I don't know what they use them for. I don't know what they use these for. I don't know if they're part of a dinner or part of a just hors d'oeuvres or sneaky snack things or finger food night or what they do with them. But they're pretty interesting. Ooh, wrinkling up everything here. Pull back, Mr. Cat. Straighten out this. This looks unsightly. So these are interesting little snacks or tidbits. That carry some of that black licorice flavor into mainstream foods. So that's the breadsticks. So here's another quick tasting of licorice flavor in foods, and this is sausage. Usually a mild Italian type sausage or a sweet Italian sausage. So this one is from a grocery store. So this one is from a local grocery store, and it says it has anise in it. It's right. It's prominently on the ingredients list. This one is a brand like Premio that I got at Walmart. Probably has national distribution. Probably is available lots of places. And it says it has fennel. And then this is a sweet Italian sausage from Italy that I bought in New York City. So these have all been grilled. They're all got they're very definitely browned, and they all have a little char on them in different spots. So I'm going to taste them and see if I can find the licorice flavors. So this particular one seems to be at lots of local grocery stores here in the New Orleans area. And I think it comes from one basic butchering place, meat supply, based on the packaging that I see, and then the labeling's a little different for each store. So I'm going to taste this anise flavored sausage. Yeah, it's fairly salty and savory, and has a good mouthfeel for the amount of fat in the sausage. And there's definitely an anise note in the spicing and seasoning. It's not real strong, and it's not there to stand out on its own. It's sort of blend in with the other flavors, and it does that very well. But I think I can tell it's the anise for sure. So that one's adding a lot to this, just by combining with the other seasonings and playing well with them. Okay, so that's good. So I don't know if it's a whole pod or just the seeds or oil or what they throw in, but I can taste it. Oh, now that I'm cutting meat, you can see how wobbly my set is. Okay, now we're moving on to the Premio sausage that is seasoned with fennel. I'm going to look for seeds here. Not sure I saw them before. Okay, there are specks. It could be fennel seeds. So I'll just go in and give it a try. Oh, I think I'm tasting it before I bite into. It's not real obvious that's where the seeds are. I taste it. When I had the bottle of seeds in black licorice number 2, I had to bite into them to get the licorice flavor out. From the outside, they're protected and just smell herbal. There's fennel in here. It's kind of a buttery note. The salt brings out lots of flavors. So premio, mild Italian sausage, just as good. I'd say the licorice is in there, but it's mild and subtle and just combining with the other flavors. Now move on to number 3, the Italy sausage, right from their meat case, picked up by one of the butcher people when I asked for 2 links. And they said, I asked them if it had fennel and they said yes. So, do I see seeds? Oh, there's lots of specks. Oh, definitely. Oh, man. Yeah, I see 2 seeds right on top of this slice. So they're the striated whole seeds. And when you bite into them, they explode. It's nice and warm. It's not as salty as the others. Good mouthfeel from the fat and the texture of the meat, or the grind of the meat. But I don't think I've bit into a fennel yet. I'm still trying. Let me try again. I can't say I've bit into anything that caused the big licorice pop or explosion. So it's nicely seasoned. Everything plays well together. So that's a little odd. Where I can see the fennel and just, 2 seeds in a random slice or cut. I didn't taste it so much. Over here I tasted the anise pretty well. Here I tasted the fennel pretty well, even though I couldn't see the seeds. And don't think I was biting into any whole seeds. Fennel taste was pretty good and blended in. And not strong, definitely not out in the forefront. And over here where I could see the seeds, didn't get so much fennel. So, yes, licorice flavor in sausages for sure. So I'm at Banana Blossom to taste some licorice in my ramen. Thank you. See all that? Nice egg. Pork. Ramen. Green onion and some brown sauce at the bottom. I remember this being full of 5 spice, which means very rich in anise. So here we go. Oh, I smell it.
It's more like a flame.
Star anise is all through this. 5 spices all through this.
Enough Christmas stuff to do all that.
I don't even have to get close. I can smell it from here.
Would you agree? No, you didn't. No, I don't think she was.
Nice ramen noodles with lots of brown sauce.
40th anniversary of Greece, so we did actually 3 scenes from Greece.
And I can just smell 5 spice and anise all over.
No. We did the bedroom scene.
And it's steaming up my glasses.
Then he did another giant one, the final scene at the end with the player outside. And then they did a one-on-one. Ronnie saying that.
Wait, that was the only one I was in, and you were there when I was in it. Only one I was in, you, Danny,
There we go. Pork and noodles. Oops.
didn't you come down?
It's not coming together, is it? Pork and noodles and sauce.
But that was the only one I was in, and then I got up and I went.
You don't remember the Greek scene?
I remember this.
Right, we did 3 Greek scenes. Ronnie did the theme.
Spectacular licorice flavor.
No, she wasn't.
But I think it was you.
5 spice for days.
You in the grease? You in the grease?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't. You were there.
I didn't know what
Oh, look, see all these dark specks?
cafeteria.
That's spice. That's star anise.
That was the first one we did.
They make their own 5 spice powder, but it's not quite powder.
All my exes were in the
It's not quite pulverized, is it?
Yeah, you went to that.
I went to that.
But you were also at the table waiting and dancing and in
Well, I'm not denying it. I
the
just don't
gym.
remember.
In the gym.
I really don't remember seeing those good scenes.
It's full of big chunks of star anise.
I don't remember being in the gym.
That was the only one I was in. And it was you, Danny, and Jesse.
I'm not saying no. I
So
just
it's an
don't remember.
explosion of licorice flavor.
She did it first.
Try an egg.
Well, I gave her a video. I said, DVD the video. I said, here, practice. You're on your own. Just
That's beautiful. Another piece of star anise. Look at that. Now remember, I've been spinning out several large chunks.
she is.
This is a restaurant far from where I live or work. I've been here 3 or 4 times, and I'll be back more. More star anise.
And then she got rid of everything. And she lost all the wedding gifts.
I don't know anything about him or what.
No, me either. Didn't know anything about it.
That was his name, Mike Martin?
Very good.
Tastes
Thank you.
alright?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have any of it.
So not every licorice explosion is candy.
I'm gonna get him out tonight. Oh, yeah. I got it from Milano. Can I show you?
Okay, come up for air. Breathe.
You ain't gonna believe this one.
Then clench your fists. Relax your legs. Okay. Next egg.
That's the egg. It's not gonna be.
Okay, now I have to resort to the spoon. The pieces are small, the noodles are small. You want to get every drop.
Okay.
It's amazing. The anise flavor is way more than a note that just blends in. It's the major note. It's louder than every other note. It's louder than pork, louder than the brown sauce, louder than salt. And there's all the anise debris. Wonderful, just the way I remember it. So I hope you enjoyed all those little bits and pieces of the food world with some licorice flavors in them. And as this is licorice review number 28, we only have one more to go. It's going to be on Scotty Dogs, the candy. This black chewy stuff. And it's pretty good. And then that will be the last one, and we'll move on to fresh cheeses. So of course I want everybody to like this video, leave a comment down below, ask questions, subscribe to the channel and click on that bell icon to get notified when the new videos come out every Monday and Thursday. So, stay tuned for the Scotty Dogs and come black for more.